Hey, good morning. Welcome to another episode of Madness AM. I haven't seen you in a while, approximately over 3 years or so. So, what the hell is this? Anyway, Madness AM was I guess a vlogging series and a miniature podcast that I used to do just about every morning. It was a semi-daily routine where I'd get up and I'd just turn on the camera and complain and talk at you. So thanks anybody who's stuck around over the years for this. Nilo Cortex, I'm talking to you. I don't deserve it. And yeah, y'all are just awesome. But I wanted to kind of get back to this a little bit because I've been running into a huge amount of burnout and resulting depression over the last few years. No, not a few years, few months. I'm sorry. I just woke up. I just rolled out of bed and just kind of turned on the camera. So my mind isn't all the way there yet. But yeah, the last couple months, that's more accurate. The last few months, since December. Since December, it's just been kind of a roller coaster. And I think it's because I was going at Savage so hard. The game itself and a lot of the sort of peripheral related stuff, tangential stuff, like some conventions that I went to, and I got sick, really sick for both of them. I had a really bad case of bronchitis and flu, and I was stressed out. A lot of it, I think, because I was taking Benadryl, and that was contributing to my anxiety somewhat. So that on top of just working on the game, not being done with the game, dealing with all this extra crap surrounding the game that didn't allow me to work on it directly, like going to conventions and stuff, just did a number on my body. And when I get stressed out, I have learned over the last couple years that it can do weird things to me physically. Like I go to the hospital and be like, I'm having a heart attack. They're like, no, you're fine. It's like, yeah, but my chest hurts. That's because you're stressed out and your muscles tight or whatever. And they'll do a bunch of imaging and whatever and see that nothing's wrong. It's like, I have blood clots. I have cancer. No, you don't. You're just stressed out. But I stopped taking Benadryl and it's been out of my system for a good 72 hours probably by now, and I feel about 100 times better. Allergies kind of suck, but it's just sort of like, man up, get over it. But I was popping Benadryl pretty regularly, and I think that contributed to it. And yeah, when I get stressed out, it does things physically to me. I threw my back out. I threw my wrists out, if you can even do that. It felt like it. They were all inflamed and terrible. So I spent maybe a week and a half on the couch with an ice pack. I got to play some video games, though, some actual finished video games, so that was kind of nice. Been diving into Sekiro, a little bit, and it's wonderful, to say the least. Broke open Metal Gear Solid, the original PlayStation game, just for some comfort food, I guess. Just, yeah, kind of laid there with an ice pack on the couch, reflecting on things. And I used to do so much better at just a lot of things. As somebody that likes to do production and graphic design and art and of course the video game and music, like I used to really kind of kick ass before our apartment burned down. Funnily enough, yeah, I was really strict with my schedule. I'd wake up, I'd do one of these things, which was sort of, yeah, like a daily commitment, and just what the hell's going on and whatever's going on tumbling around in my brain, I just kind of spill it out into the microphone and the camera for all to enjoy. But so I'd do that. I'd ink or I'd pencil a comic. I'd write some panels if I needed to. I'd ink the thing, which I got down to a science. It took me maybe roughly 2 to 4 hours to do a page. And then I'd scan it in, digitally color it, work on Savage for another 5 to 8 hours or so. Do like a goofy little YouTube video or something talking about crusty old video games and such. And that would kind of be my day. Like I'd just stuff it full of nonsense like that. And then any freelance work that I had as well, that would obviously take priority, but I'd sandwich all this other stuff in there, and I'd update my schedule daily or weekly as needed, and yeah, I just get shit done, man. But ever since then, after the fire, that just kind of sucked all that stuff out, I think. And I've been kind of struggling to keep my head above water, mentally speaking, ever since, I think. And I think it's because I just, as the last couple of years have piled up and I haven't finished Savage, it's just been repeated little stings, and I think now I'm suffering a death by 1,000 cuts, more or less mentally. I'm better now. I don't want this to sound like some kind of crazy doom and gloom thing, but that's just kind of how I've been feeling. So thank you for playing the therapist. But yeah, I just wanted to kind of get back to this, maybe get into another similar routine like that, and focus more on the live streams and stuff, like on a good solid schedule for that stuff, and because a lot of you guys are showing up, and I thank you for it, and it's been amazing, and it's been a lot of fun to just kind of chill and work and talk about the game and answer questions and stuff, and it's nice because it feels like I'm hanging out in a like a little mini office building or something, surrounded by just people with similar interests and stuff, and we can kind of geek out on stuff like that, whatever the hell it is. But yeah, I've been itching to talk about that sort of thing, and get back into my my regularly scheduled Savage updates and stuff too. Like before the shit hit the fan for me personally over the last few months. I did a episode 1 of Let's Finish Savage, and that was like the last up to this point. That was the one and only one that I did. So I'd like to get back into that as well, because that felt pretty good too. There was a little tiny bit of production that went into that, and some graphic design elements and stuff. It was pretty light on those elements, but it was something a little different and something that sort of benefited the game, I think, and at least allowed me to organize my thoughts and stuff. So yeah, just burnout, general burnout and depression, but I'm back on it now. You know what I kind of feel like? I kind of feel like a college student that only has a few credits left to earn their degree, and they just have like one paper left to write, and they just won't do it. That's sort of how Savage feels a little bit. There's like a handful of levels left, but I keep kind of skirting around them and pussyfooting around with stuff like, what if there was character creation or something, or what if it had an alchemy system, which I am pretty proud of the alchemy system. It's not 100% done yet, but it's in there, and things are working, and I've added a few more like buff slots for the character and everything, and I think the game did need a little bit of extra stuff for you to discover, stuff for you to find in the game world, for like crafting materials and reagents and stuff. So that's something, but it probably could have not been to the degree that I implemented it. So hello, feature creep, my old friend. But yeah, I need to get back on the content grind for the game. And this is, these are the nuts and bolts surrounding the game's development. I've been, I don't know how much more transparent that I could possibly be about it all. Like, and that's not to say that that's, like my hand is forced or something. That's just kind of how I've wanted to do it. Like I've just sort of wanted to work on it and, have people come in and give me feedback and talk about it, ask questions about it as I'm doing it. So, and that's been helpful for me too. Just to, again, it feels like I've got people working around me as I work too, so it's like being in an office full of like fun people, I guess. So yeah, there's that, I guess. And just like all this stuff that's been going on with the gaming industry, Jesus Christ. It's just ever since like the whole Blizzard thing with the Diablo thing, and going mobile, and Fallout 76 and Anthem and Bethesda, and my goodness, there's been just a ton of, it feels like the AAA games industry in the West, at least, has just decided, like they've all had these sleeper agents hanging out inside of all of their studios, and somewhere somebody, flipped the switch, flipped the card, and it's go time. And so now everybody's bound and determined on bringing themselves down, and it's kind of just a catastrophe. It's a almost a beautiful thing to watch. It's destructive force. So yeah, those things could probably warrant a whole other discussion and whatever. But especially like with Steam and Epic, sort of duking it out, I guess. There's like a weird digital storefront Cold War going on. But not being done with Savage yet and being pretty damn close to having a 1.0 on my hands, if I can get my head out of my ass and, finish the base content that still needs to be finished. Things like not pricing, but discoverability changes on Steam. A lot of indie devs have come out talking about how organic growth for their games and their store pages has just gone down the tube. So that's kind of a scary prospect for me. But that's always kind of been my strategy going into this, is do things that I also like surrounding Savage and that, I kind of have a little bit of a knack for, like graphic design and fun little like marketing things like streaming and stuff, and having be attached to the game, like sort of build an audience around these other things that also are related to Savage. And I'm hoping that some of that will kind of work a little bit. I mean, I'm prepared for the worst, of course, when Savage comes out, if it's like a complete and total disaster and 500 people buy it and then move on. I will have learned something. It will have taken me about 6 years to learn that something, but I will have learned something just the same. So yeah. Anyway, everything's pretty good. Everything's a lot better than it was. I'm back to the gym now, thanks to getting rid of the antihistamines and all that nasty Benadryl cocktail that I've been putting into my system. Feeling a lot better. The back's doing good. The wrists are shaping up. And work continues, man. Work continues. The live streams are happening again. So, yeah, man, let's get back to it. I'll try to do more of these because it actually feels pretty good to just have something that's a little short and sweet, and I can, begin it and end it in one fell swoop. So, yeah, more Madness AM coming, for better or worse as well. So, thank you guys for listening to me rant and rave. I'll see you next time, and maybe, too, on the live streams. Go ahead and hop into my Twitch channel and wherever else you might find me, and keep track of the game. Ask questions, rip me a new one for not being out in 2017, because I deserve it. And, thank you very much for watching, and I'll catch you next time.